Hello, thank you very much for coming. All right. Get this. All right. Oh, sorry. This one. Got it. Hello. Okay. Thank you very much for coming. So my name is Vjenceslav Nadinic. That's a little bit longer version, so everybody calls me Veno. And I'm from Tableau. I'm coming from Tableau in London. I'm covering EMEA, and one of these countries, of course, is Israel. So in this short 15 minutes, I'm going to try to give you a technical overview of how do we do embedded with Tableau. So I'm going to try to stick to my time. Unfortunately, I was not able to run any demos, but don't worry, you will be able to see that on our web pages. So, there's a clicker. Okay. So what is Tableau? Of course, before I even touch on the dashboards, the front end that actually Tableau is quite famous about, Tableau is the whole unified platform. So when you are working with Tableau, you have to think about a couple of things when you're implementing this inside your organization. It's not just the dashboards, it's everything around them. It is the governance, it is the data you want to connect to, it is actually how you're going to consume this data, who you're going to share with it, how you're going to collaborate, where you're going to actually see those dashboards, how you're going to manage your mobile, how you're going to manage your browsers, customers, etc., etc., etc. So Tableau is the whole platform that actually does all of that for you. This is quite important, and I'm going to refer to this a little bit later when I'm going to comment on actually when you are embedding Tableau to use it inside your applications, that actually you get the full package, you get all this platform, they will manage things for you. All right, so what is the secret sauce? The secret sauce of Tableau is VSQL together with Hyper, and it is basically a querying engine that turns whatever you have queried into a visualization. And it is very, very powerful, very, very dynamical, and you can build actually unlimited things with it. There is a very good example. If you go to public.tableau.com, we have a very beautiful gallery of tons of visualizations. I'm not going to lie, I think there are like thousands of them there. And they are quite different, and you can get the sense and feel actually what you can build with Tableau. Of course, one of the main things also we do, it's called self-service. This is that you can build the dashboards on your own. Of course, there are multiple levels of users. Some of the users, they really like to build the dashboards on their own. Some of the users or customers, they want to just consume them, look at them. So you can do both. You can actually build them and do analytics, see what's happening while building the dashboards. And in the same time, when you build something, you can share this with everybody. Or if you have your own application, and when you embed Tableau inside your application, you will have exactly the visualizations you want to share with them. Another thing is, of course, there is a multi-tenancy, very important part. So if you have Tableau and you have multiple customers, your customers, let's say you are a retail company, you have your partners, and you have hundreds of them. You are able with Tableau to manage multi-tenancy. You can manage all the customers, what they do, what are their users, who can see what, how they work, what they can click to. So governance is very, very, very important. You don't want in a company, if CFO can see HR data and salaries, you don't want somebody who is not allowed to see that to be able in any way, shape, or form see this data. We take this very, very seriously. So governance is one of the main things you have to pay attention to when you are building your solution. And at the end of the day, we connect to anything. So we don't care what you have. It can be a database, it can be a file, it can be Amazon Redshift, Google BigQuery, it can be Postgre, it can be MySQL. We are also quite famous about that. We can connect to anything you want. Okay, now, embedding Tableau. So what do you mean? What do I mean by embedding Tableau? When I talk about embedding, I mean you can use Tableau inside your application. I'm going to touch what I mean by that. It can be blog, application, website. I'm going to touch more about that. But whatever you have and you want to actually use the visualization and use these capabilities, it can be part of your application. Then, of course, that also means, oh, I have already Tableau. Or, you know what, I have my users already working on Tableau, but I want them also to see that inside my application. Do I need more licenses? The answer is no. The ones who have a user on your Tableau, it can be actually shared via just Tableau UI, or you can embed that inside your application. All right, and this is very often preferred method of working with ISVs, but you know, in general, very honestly, it is not you know, just exclusive for ISVs. Anybody who wants to build that can do that, and you can deploy this anywhere. I'm going to touch about that a little bit later. Okay, so how does this look at the end of the day? So for example, this is a normal portal. It's just an application that you can have. And in the middle, you can see some charts. This is basically actually Tableau. So what's happening is that Tableau is the visualization inside your application. Remember in the beginning, I showed you all those platform stuff. All of this comes as the part of this visualization. All the security, all the governance, all the connectivity, everything is suddenly part of your application. You don't have to build this on your own. You don't have to manage all of this. Tableau will do this all for you. So what happens, you get the power of Tableau as a part of your application. All right? Now, of course, there are different things that you can also use in your application. JavaScript buttons, links, filters, etc., etc., etc. All of this is seamlessly communicating with Tableau. So if you want to filter something, select something, export something, it can be all part of your application that is communicating two-way with Tableau. So if I want to click on this bar chart and get the information back inside my application, because I want to share this with some other part of my application, you can do that. So the communication is two-way. You can have the information inside Tableau. I click on something. Ooh, this is a good result. I want to share this with my other application or other piece of my application. Not a problem. You can do that seamlessly. And of course, at the end of the day, what you have, this is all one application, your application, that right now has the power of Tableau embedded inside your code. Okay? Let me see time-wise, okay. Now, why people embed Tableau? Well, they embed it from various ways, but one of them is monetize stuff. So for example, we had just the other week a customer, they do KPIs on top of the various marketing data, and they basically right now just share this data with their customers. But there is a competitor who does the same, and luckily they bought Tableau, and they embedded that in as part of their offering. So right now, this customer, other customers are like, ooh, I actually have to follow. I actually have to do better and actually have some kind of offering that I can monetize with my customers. And of course, what will happen while you have these capabilities, your application will be more stickier. People will start using. They will not look at the competition because they're happy with the capabilities they have. And in the other way is, of course, and you increase adoption, because what's going to happen, people are going to be using your application more because suddenly they have additional capabilities like exploring the data that you allow them to explore. Of course, after you buy Tableau licenses, all of this is much, much cheaper than if you would be actually building and managing all of this on your own. Okay, now where can I embed the Tableau? First of all, you don't even have to embed it. You can just have a Tableau server which has a nice, beautiful UI, and you can share that with outside customers. You can do that. Zero integration. You don't have to do anything. You just use Tableau. Of course, there is no white labeling. Everything looks Tableau, etc., etc., etc. But a lot of customers said, you know, that's fine. I'll do it. Then you can embed this just, you know, in a web page. Let's say you have a newspaper. You run Corriere della Sera from Italy, and you want to have a beautiful dashboard while people are reading the articles. BBC has the same. BBC uses Tableau for that. They have actually a full blog on how they do design of Tableau visualizations while they're embedding this inside the articles, etc., etc., etc. So you can do that. You can actually embed this inside your own SharePoint or Salesforce if you have. You can do that seamlessly. Of course, and you can do inside your application, custom application, .NET, Java, you're running stuff on something like that, and you want to have the Tableau part of your application, you can do it, not a problem. Or you can actually package this fully like an OEM solution when people are actually, let's say, provisioning something that you have as an application, and automatically Tableau will provision with all the users and all the capabilities and all the dashboards. All of this is open, and you can do all of that with Tableau. So from the simplest to most complex way of embedding. Right, okay. Now, of course, it is very important that when you embed Tableau that security is there in the first place. So if you want to use single sign-on, SAML, OpenID, I don't know, anything like that, Okta, you name it, we can do it. Trusted authentication, if you just want to have a ticketing, not a problem, we can do all of these things. And then when you do that, because you are using Tableau platform, you can manage all the security, who can see what, who can click what, who can go where, and stuff like that. All that comes as a part of Tableau solution. And at the end, of course, row-level security, if you want to have, let's say, a template dashboard that 10 people are looking at, but you want to make sure that each of them sees only the data they are covering. Let's say I'm a sales guy and I'm selling only in Tel Aviv, but I'm not selling in Jerusalem. And when I'm looking at my dashboard, which also, I don't know, Ivana, which is sitting, by me, she's covering Jerusalem. She will see only Jerusalem data, and I will see only Tel Aviv data. But we are looking at the same dashboard. So all of this is possible with row-level security. All right. Now, okay, it is important to understand you can install whatever you want Tableau. All right. You want it here on your server by your, legs where you're working in the cubicle. You can do it. You want to have it in the Azure, AWS, Alibaba, Google Cloud. You can do it. Not a problem. You can install Tableau wherever you want to install it. All right. Then, okay. Of course, as I mentioned, nobody will know you are using Tableau. You use Tableau inside your application. It is part of your application. You can use different coloring. You can do different white labeling. It can look exactly as you want it with all the colors and look and feel. All right? As I said, if you go to public.tableau.com, you will see dashboards that look like nothing like dashboards. So you are able to customize this fully. All right? And API support, as I mentioned, because we are talking about embedding, we fully support various APIs, much more than this. JavaScript API, you will manage more or less the front end. REST API, you will manage the back end. Automatically provisioning customers, automatically moving workbooks around. When I say a workbook, I mean that's a visualization. Let's say you have 10,000 customers. You just built a template workbook. With the press of a button, you can do that. You don't have to do this manually, of course. You have 10,000 users. You want to change their capabilities to see different dashboards. All of that is possible programmatically via REST APIs. All right, now a little bit, let's get technical. I have like 3 minutes or 4 minutes for technical, 2 minutes. Oh God, 2 minutes left. Okay, now there is always a lack of development skills. Make sure that you know what you are doing, because of course, when we talk about embedding, you have to know this, HTML, JavaScript, etc., etc., etc. Now, of course, if you already have your own solution, your own portal, and you are embedding, I bet you know that. So HTML and JavaScript, everybody knows that, okay? That's not hard. Now, okay, let me just go here. How does this look at the end of the day? Architecture looks something like this. You have your users, you have your application server, you have your application database, you have a Tableau server, which is sitting by your application server, and then via iframe, which unfortunately, okay, I will have time to show, via iframe, you embed Tableau inside your application, and that's it. It's nothing complex. There is no complex architecture here. So it can be very simply done. You can test it very quickly. You can play around, and maybe even in 1 day or 2, you can already have a working prototype. Now, I will just jump through the code, because I was hoping to show you just a little bit the code, but I don't have time for that. So basically, what I'm showing right now, with a little bit of code, I just embedded the Tableau, which is on the upper right side. It was just a couple of lines of code. You can very easily do that on your own. We have tons of examples which you can actually visit. And here is the list of all the APIs we have. We have APIs for front end. We have APIs for a server. We have APIs for managing the data. You are fully covered. If you want to do anything funky wonky and do this on the fly with Tableau, you can do it. All right? Now the resources, don't believe me, believe our website. Go to Tableau Embedded Analytics. There is a demo there. There is white papers there. There are pieces of code there. There is videos. There are as I said, white papers. If we don't have it, you don't want it. So just go there to tableau.com Embedded Analytics, and you're going to be able to get all of this in much longer time than 15 minutes. Thank you very much.